Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer facing a backlash from his party this morning.
Yes, this comes after the Dover MP, Natalie Elphicke, announced her decision to defect to the opposition just 2 minutes before Prime Minister's questions yesterday.
Well, many Labour MPs have said Sir Keir wrongly welcomed an MP that's called for a crackdown on immigration and openly supported the Rwanda scheme.
Well, Deputy Editor for Spiked Online, Fraser Myers joins us now. Good to see you, Fraser.
Morning.
This is a shocking defection, isn't it?
It is. I don't think anyone would have had this on their bingo cards. I mean, anyone who knows anything about Natalie Elphicke will know that she's firmly on the right of the Conservative Party, not like some of the other Labour MPs who might have defected, who a bit more centrist, a bit more on Keir Starmer's wavelength. So it's not surprising there's been a huge backlash within the Labour Party. I mean, people have said, people among the Labour Party have said that she's vile. They've asked, are we going to get Nigel Farage defecting to us next? Perhaps, you'll get a swell of Braverman moving over to Labour. I mean, obviously, this raises questions about both the Tories and Labour, in a sense. She was saying, essentially, she's defected over immigration.
So she thinks the Tories aren't doing enough on immigration, so she thinks Labour will do a better job when they're not even meeting the standards that the Tories have set.
Well, exactly. This is what's so bizarre about it. I mean, only a year ago, she was saying that Keir Starmer wants an open border, they can't be trusted on immigration. Now she's saying, I trust Keir Starmer more than Rishi Sunak. So it's obviously, this is a significant blow to Rishi Sunak because she is the MP for Dover. That's on the front line of the small boats crisis. So her saying that he's not doing a good enough job is significant. But then, you have to ask questions about Starmer's party. The perennial question, what does Labour stand for? It's fine to have a broad church in politics, but if the church is so broad that it encompasses and welcomes people who are, take a completely different policy position on immigration, on a key electoral issue to you, then, is there any point to Starmer's party?
What's your view on what's really happening here? Do you think this is about immigration? Do you think this is Natalie Elphicke taking a stance? Or do you think she's trying to damage Rishi Sunak? Because she's even said she wants to stand down at the next general election, so this isn't about keeping her seat. Yeah. Or is there a peerage in this?
Well, apparently she hasn't been offered a job or a peerage or anything like that. We wait and see. I think, there's obviously an element of opportunism here. It's definitely generated headlines. If the aim was to damage Rishi Sunak, then she has succeeded. She's also ended up damaging Keir Starmer quite significantly. I mean, I don't know whether this will cut through to the public because people might just have seen the headline, Dover MP defects because Sunak is rubbish on immigration. Yeah. But certainly among the Labour ranks, it's damaged Starmer's standing.
Yeah, I find it very difficult. I mean, a bit like that. When I first saw the headline, but then when you realise who it is, I mean, I can't think. Someone's quoted, some Tory MPs quoted, saying if there's an MP to the right of Natalie Elphicke, I don't know who they are.
Yeah, and it's also strange because, Starmer has tried to present the Labour Party as kind of whiter than white. We're not corrupt, sleazy like the Tories. But this is a woman who essentially took her seat after her husband was suspended over rape allegations. He was later convicted. And then she has defended him, protested his innocence, even after his guilt. He said that he's just an attractive man, so he's an easy person. You can see why he would be an easy target for false allegations, things like that. So this is,
then she divorced him.
And then she divorced him. But you could say that she's not even a particularly, kind of an unsavoury character, not a particularly upstanding MP, not completely whiter than white in the way that Keir Starmer wants to portray his party. So, again, that just raises yet more questions as to what were they thinking in accepting her into the fold. I think, again, it just suggests that there is really a void at the heart of Starmer's Labour Party, that it doesn't really stand for anything. Perhaps this week, they want to say that, they're aware that they're not doing that well on immigration or not persuading the public on immigration, and they think this is a way of doing it.
See, what I don't understand with this is why... I mean, if she's so unhappy with the Conservative Party, and she's nowhere near the Labour Party politically, then why didn't you say, well, I'm leaving the party, I'm going to be an independent till the end of the term. Why would she make the point of saying, I'm going to defect to Labour?
Or she could have joined Reform.
Oh, she could have gone to Reform. That would have been a better fit, actually.
That would really seem like the logical decision for her. I think we are all going to be scratching our heads, I think, until until the next election, until we can work out, until we see if there's perhaps some offer, maybe, as you say, of a peerage, of a job. There's been some suggestion, actually, that she might be doing some advice for Labour on housing. That's the only area where there seems to be some agreement. She's, worried about the housing crisis, but then who isn't?
Are you surprised that Labour have accepted her?
Yes, I think that's probably the bigger shock. What is Keir Starmer thinking? What's going through his head? Again, I think opportunism, sees the quick headline, thinks this will get me a good few days in press, but then again has it. It seems to be most of the headlines today are very negative, very much focusing on the Labour MPs' response to this, very negative response to this.
I mean, if she got a peerage either after the next election or even sort of 12 months down the line after that, it would just be seen as utterly corrupt, wouldn't it?
I think completely. And then, what way would she vote? Would she really be voting Would she really be voting with the Labour whip? When they come to scrap the Rwanda policy, for instance, when they come into government as they're promising to, would she vote with them or would she vote against? I mean, the whole thing makes very little sense. It makes no sense on the level of principle. I think it might make sense on a level of personal opportunism, and that doesn't say anything good for our politics.
No, it doesn't. Fraser, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much indeed.